don't give up. Just because someone has been refused before does not mean that they can't be approved later. A lot of people come to us after they have had even 1, 2, 3, even 4 refusals, and we've actually been able to get them approved.
I'm Claudia, and this is Social Questions by the Top Choice Awards. Today, we're here with Cassandra Fultz, founder and principal consultant at Doherty Fultz Immigration, Inc., Toronto's top choice immigration consulting services of 2026. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Claudia. It's a pleasure.
Americans are moving to Canada in numbers that we haven't seen in decades. LGBTQ plus individuals, professionals, families who just want stability. That wave actually look like from where you're sitting? And is Canada's system ready to handle it?
That's a great question. So let's talk about the second part of the question first. Is the system ready? Well, the system is always at varying stages of readiness. You may have seen in the past where waves of Americans were expressing interest all together at the same time and actually crashed the Canadian immigration website. So this has happened before. It will happen again. Usually it coincides with election night. Take from that what you will. But what it really looks like from the inside, from the government, is applications are being processed, right? Even though lots of applications have been received since Bill C-3 came into force in December of 2025, and loads more people are now eligible for Canadian citizenship, the applications are actually moving through the system. And there is, I would say, processing times are increasing. However, it's not what I would qualify as a backlog yet. They're moving and they're actually completing, which is really exciting because what that means is people are getting their citizenship. And then on the client side of things, what it really looks like is all sorts, right? All sorts of people are exploring their options. And not just for Canada. When you get that Canadian passport, it actually opens up doors around the world.
Good to know. Bill C-3 just passed, and it means that Canadians born abroad through a grandparent may now be eligible for citizenship in ways they never were before. How many people watching this right now might be Canadian citizens and not even know it?
Literally millions of people. This is not an overstatement. It actually could be millions of people. So essentially, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. So prior to Bill C-3 coming into force, only the first generation born outside Canada could inherit citizenship from a Canadian parent. But what Bill C-3 did is addressed the determination by the court that limitation was unconstitutional. And so what it means for those of us out here is that if you have a Canadian parent or grandparent or great-grandparent, great-great-grandparent, you can go as far back in time as you can prove that this is your direct ancestor, and you can inherit Canadian citizenship from that person if they were born or naturalized in Canada before passing it on to their own descendants.
Wow, I had no idea it went that far back.
It's really exciting. It truly goes all the way back.
Yeah, so I bet a lot of people didn't know that.
It's literally millions of people. And the thing about it is, too, think about this. Think about how many kids people used to have, right? So, today we're having 1 or 2 kids, maybe. But think about our parents' generation and their parents' generation. We're doing applications for families now who each generation, there's 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. And then their parents, they had 9, 10, 11, 12 kids. It's truly millions of people.
Yeah, my mom is the youngest of 13 kids.
Exactly.
Could you imagine being pregnant for 13 years?
No, absolutely not.
If someone in the U.S. finds out that they are Canadian through ancestry, like we just talked about, what are the benefits of applying for Canadian citizenship?
Well, the benefits are myriad, okay? So the first benefit is that if you apply for Canadian citizenship, then you will be able to get your Canadian passport. And once you have your Canadian passport, you can then travel on it in order to enter countries around the world visa-free, which is wonderful. And then you can also turn up to Canada, right? The door is open, the light is on, you're welcome here. You can come, you can work, you can go to school, you can retire, right? You can live, you can spend an indefinite amount of time in your cottage, you can buy a cottage. Yeah. And so Canada is open to you. But the real exciting thing, and what I think is actually one of the most exciting parts about this, is that if you're under the age of 35 and you have a Canadian passport, you can participate in the International Mobility Program. And what that means is that you can actually get an open work permit to work in over 40 countries around the world by using your Canadian passport. So, if you want to work in Iceland, in Japan, in New Zealand, there are loads of countries that you can go and literally work. It's literally called the Working Holiday Program. So, you're supposed to go and enjoy your time, and then you work there in a bar or whatever to pay for
Yeah,
your stay while you're there. And if you're done in Sweden, then you can just head on over to Germany and do it again. It's extraordinary.
that is awesome. And again, something I had no idea about. So that's great to know. Canada just hit record high refusal rates for temporary residents, visitors visas, study permits, work permits, all being rejected at alarming rates. What's actually driving that? And what do applicants need to know to give themselves the best chance of approval?
This is a really important question, Claudia. To give yourself the best chance of approval for any application, okay, citizenship, immigration, temporary status, permanent status, the most important thing is to answer the officer's questions proactively. So, what it doesn't mean is just going down the document checklist and assuming that's enough, right? Just reading the instructions and say, okay, yeah, good enough, and send it off and hope for the best. What you really want to do is to provide more than enough information to make sure that the officer is crystal clear that you meet the eligibility requirements. And the reason that refusals are climbing is that scrutiny is increasing. Absolutely. It's something that we sort of joke in the industry that somewhere in the bowels of the government office somebody turned on the compliance machine and now all of these procedural fairness letters and refusal letters are coming out and we all have to deal with that. And these things do sort of go in phases where, we want to bring in a lot more applicants all at once and the compliance machine gets turned off. It's not nearly so bad. And then at certain other times, they're going to be a lot more strict. And this is one of those times. So the most important thing is do not do the bare minimum and just assume that is going to be good enough. And especially when we're talking about temporary status, because I want to tell you what's on the document checklist, it's actually only the beginning. It doesn't matter whether you're doing a citizenship or an immigration application, the document checklist, that's the starting point. But when we prepare applications for our clients, we go so much further out on a limb in terms of the evidence that we submit to make it clear beyond a shadow of a doubt that this person is eligible, and we make the arguments for why they should be approved.
If someone's watching this right now and is sitting on a pending application, refusal, or just a dream of moving to Canada, but has no idea where to start, what's the very first thing you tell them to do?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Just because someone has been refused before does not mean that they can't be approved later. A lot of people come to us after they have had even one, two, three, even four refusals, and we've actually been able to get them approved after the fact. And again, it really comes back to the quality of the evidence that's being submitted. It's not that more is more, but it's really important to submit good quality information and documentation of whatever it is that you're saying. So don't give up is the first thing that they should do. And then the second thing that they should do is talk with a professional, right? What you find on TikTok, no offense, and when you find on social media, on Facebook, on any type of, internet-based place where people congregate is
Right.
a lot of people's different experiences and opinions, which is great, but that is not professional advice. There is no substitute for quality professional advice, and that's what you should do. If you had a hiccup, even if you're not sure before you submit the application, or if you submitted, it didn't work out, you've gotten a refusal, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're totally out of luck. Reach out to a professional who can advise you.
Okay. Well, thank you for all of that information. And thank you so much for being here with us. And congratulations once again on your win. What would you like to say to your top choice award voters?
Thank you. Thank you is what I would like to say to our top choice voters. This is really, really a huge deal for me. I remember when I first started in immigration, my first job in immigration was I was the receptionist, right? I started out answering the phone for an immigration law firm, and that firm won the top choice award while I was working there. Okay. And I remember what a big deal it was. And so things have really come full circle for me to have been able to claim the top choice award for our firm and for our team. I want to thank everyone who voted for us. And I want to thank all of our clients. Over all of the 12 years that we've been in business, the pleasure has truly been ours to help.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much again. This has been another episode of Social Questions.